Hi there, welcome. I'm doing a review on the Backfire's electric longboard. Now this is the Generation 2 electric skateboard with Galaxy grip tape. Now I'll show you a quick preview of what's in the box. So of course it comes with the longboard itself, and these I got in the package deal where it came with 2 spare urethane sleeves for the back motors and lubricant to put on with it. So now as well, you've got this little pallet with everything you need. Now it comes with the charging cable, the second part of the charging cable that goes into the board. You have the remote here. Now my first impression of the remote was it's rather large and clunky, but once you get used to it, it's actually quite comfortable to use. It's got the little trigger here, forward motion for acceleration and pull down motion for braking. Now it has 3 buttons. You hold down this one, that's the power button to the remote. It comes up with this little LED light display. Now when you turn the remote on, it automatically starts in the sports mode. It has 2 modes, sports mode and economic mode. Automatically starts in the sports mode, which is the red light you see there. The green light is the battery level for the remote itself. Now you just press this little button that says S/E, and that will change it to green, which means the economic mode. Now it also has this little button down here. Push it up to go forwards, and then if you want to go in reverse, you just slide it down, and then when you accelerate, the board will go backwards. So that's the remote. Comes with a handy little lanyard. Now we have here as well a couple of different sized replaceable bushings to put for the forward and back trucks. So you got 1 yellow one and 3 green ones here, as well as a spare washing for those bushings right there. Of course comes with the handy little T-tool here with the Allen key and 3 different size spanner bits there for the different parts on the board, as well as this small Allen key here, which is very handy when you are replacing these back wheels on motors. You need that to take the little parts off to replace them. It also has this little compartment here, a spare banana plug adapter, and another charging cord for the remote itself, which is very handy in case you don't have one of those. So yes, that's what's in the box. Great to start off with. Now my initial sort of thoughts on the board. Wow, it is probably the best looking electric longboard that I have ever seen. I mean, I did some intense searching when I was looking for an electric skateboard, and this was by far the best looking one I could find. Yeah, absolutely amazing work they've done here. Sleek design, the white tires, even underneath here have just the compartments itself so smooth, and you know, a little design here, very well done, very well put together. Now it's a very cheap board as well, one of the cheapest electric longboards you can buy, only $499 US, which I found was incredibly worth what you're getting. So I'll run you through the specs real quick. There's 2 speed modes, there's economic mode and sports mode. Now on the website it tells you that the max riding speed is 45 kilometers an hour, which is 25 miles per hour. Now the charge time from flat to fully charged is 3 hours, which I find is very good, with an inclination of up to 25%. Now the range on this board is actually quite reasonable without having to pay a lot extra. With some other boards they can have different type size batteries. The distance for this one is 25 kilometers, which as well is 16 miles. Now it's a very flexible deck as well. I'll show you that just now. It's incredibly flexible. I love the flex on this deck. So you get 2 size wheels. You get the 80 mils, which are these, and you get another 96 mil wheel, which I do not currently have, but I want to get because they look so cool. They also help with riding it, makes it a lot more comfortable to ride. So yeah, it has a wireless controller, which, like I said, it's a little bit big when you first get used to it, but it can get, after a couple rides, it's very comfortable to use, very ergonomic, and just a nice controller overall. The weight, it's incredibly light, only 6.6 kilograms, which is about 14.5 pounds. And like I said before, it does have replaceable hub wheels, which is a big bonus. When you're riding for a while, they can break down, and to be able to replace them instead of having to buy a whole new hub makes it a lot cheaper and a lot easier to use. So yeah, it is also dual hub motors, not just singular. So you see here, they're both individual motors. So that's definitely an advantage. The board is 105 mils above the ground, which I think is quite reasonable. It sort of absorbs the shock when going over a slightly bumpy road. The power also, it's very well designed. The fact that the battery doesn't cut out. Well, when the battery dies, the brakes don't cut. So you're riding along, been a long adventure, your batteries are dead, but your brakes will still be there. So if you don't know how to manually brake, it is convenient to have that. It does also have regenerative brakes, so going down a hill, pulling down on the brakes, your battery will recharge, which I find is great for those long journeys that you go on. It says on the website that it is splash resistant, so if you go through a puddle, it will be water resistant to a point. I'm not entirely comfortable with going through puddles, just because bad experiences that I've had in the past with my electric longboards, but it does say that it's waterproof, and I do trust that. It also has a very convenient design that when it's off, you can push it like a normal longboard. So if you just got bored of riding it electrically, or your battery's out, you can just push it like a normal longboard. It is a little bit heavier than a normal longboard, obviously, so it won't be as efficient, but it can push like a normal longboard. And like I said, with these replaceable wheels, it's great because they do have they've estimated 100-kilometer distance on them, which is very, very handy. So there you go. Those are my quick first thoughts and initial perspective on the board itself. And I've been riding it for a while now, and it is a joy to ride. It is extremely smooth, it looks great, everything about it it's amazing. Probably the best electric longboard that I have purchased, especially at such a reasonable price. Definitely worth your time to get your hands on one of these if you can. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you very much.